Hello everyone, I'm Katara. Welcome to this month's July transmission. And I'm delighted to be broadcasting from my home in Toronto, Canada. And it's actually Canada Day on July 1st. What a journey. It's actually been over 4 years since I've been home. And so doing this kind of work and being able to share it from this space and actually just feeling myself in this home landscape, both with my parents and in my home country, is certainly very different. If you remember from my last transmission, that was still in Australia, still in that transition time as well, and I still am. We are looking for our new home, looking to land, and that's probably no different than where some of you may feel on the inside, still looking for a place for energies to land, to figure out how things will settle. For today's transmission and the July messages, I thought I'd share the messages first and then go into the transmission. So this morning I was tuning in and really feeling into what is it that I want to share with everyone. And the first message that came through was stepping into the quantum, stepping into the quantum. And I know that word's been so easily thrown around. Maybe you've heard it a lot, but what does it actually mean? And what does it actually look like when we say that we're stepping into the quantum? And so I'm going to share something quite personal on an experience of that and really how fast it actually can work. So I do believe that we are in a field around us, whether we call that the universal field, universal mind, the energy all around us. I think there are definitely different names. And when we are able to do healing, or when we're able to affect the quantum field here, outside, in the energy, in the light, in everything that cannot be seen by the eye, when we're able to affect here in that quantum field, it may take its time to come into form in the 3D. It may take its time to come into form in physical reality. And over the years, I've certainly had my wonders of, is it really happening? Did that healing take place there? And is it actually going to translate to something different? Because sometimes that time, that linear time that lapses, may take a while before I can really consistently and specifically say, because of that thing that I did, because of that healing, because of that prayer and meditation, I was able to achieve a certain result. But these days, I feel that maybe that quantum field, maybe that time and the effective time is different. At least that's what I'm experiencing. And so the other day, I was working on some family healing, some preparation work as I was coming home. After 4 years of not being here, there certainly are a lot of energies that have changed. I have changed. And so there are particular relationships that I was trying to solidify and really bring some resilience and grounding and stability within myself to be able to come home and be centered, be in alignment. And I did a little bit of healing and I accessed a past life energy very quickly, very easily with me and this family member. And it was interesting because it appeared like a usual past life that I would access during healing or tuning in kind of work. And it just showed me the relationship that we had then. It showed me our unresolved issues, and it showed me the state of the energies that were kind of trapped in that time. And so there was some communication to our higher selves, there was some healing work and some resolution of that energy. And what was fascinating was there was literally an immediate effect. So much so and so big that I actually had to check in and double check with myself and some of my healer and practitioner friends as well. Like, wait, did I do that? And so this particular family member did have a little physical issue and ended up going to the hospital. And I had to track back the timing and say, goodness, that feels like it's really close to that time I did that healing. And when I tracked it back, it actually was. It was exactly a day after I had done that healing work. And so one might easily dismiss that and say, look, it's just coincidences. But honestly, I prefer to use the word synchronicity. And even though it seems and it sounded like it was not a great thing that happened if somebody goes to the hospital, it was more the information that unraveled from that. It was the reason that that had happened because the physical body, the physical being had responded to that healing that was done at that quantum level. That was an unwinding of a past life energy that freed it, that liberated it for that physical and current body and being and life to then make a new choice. And it was immediate. It really was immediate. I couldn't deny it. And it was very fast. And that work didn't take long either. And that's something else I'm also seeing as we are embracing and realizing that everything really can be accessed at that quantum level. Linear time does not seem to matter so much. And I know that, of course, we are living our everyday and we're still aging and having this human experience. But what I mean is, even healing work, coaching, mentoring, whatever, it doesn't take that long amount of time than we may have originally thought. Sessions are no longer necessarily 1 hour for one session or 1.5 hours, whatever it is. You know, it's a very construct. It's a construct that we have that, oh, we should have 5 sessions of 1 hour or whatever. And even though over the years it's already begun happening so much more, remote healing is possible, I have noticed that sometimes in sessions where it still is kind of loosely structured around a time format, that sometimes I really feel that the energy is complete and done, and yet I'm still, maybe dragging out the session a little, maybe just in talking to that human self, because it is the human self sometimes that needs that comfort. It's going to be a 1 hour thing. So stepping into the quantum, things are taking much less time as we know it. Things are able to be affected and having an impact much quicker as well. So notice that for you as you're doing your sacred practices, as you are meditating, praying, as you're doing energy work. Notice how that time construct is still in your system or affecting you, or whether it can be moved out of the way, moved out of some of our belief systems that we are really bound by time. Yeah, so that's my message today about stepping into the quantum. Healing does not take as long as it may used to. I just think there's so much more accessible to us, easier as well. And of course, this is for those who are willing to go there, right? Willing to go there, ready to go there. I have found that healing has really changed a lot. Quicker, different access, and even different ways that the guides are coming through, but that's a separate topic. All right, stepping into the quantum. The second message that I have is that energies are really shaking it up. Energies shaking it up. And what I feel that means is, on top of just there being high frequency energies coming onto the earth, photonic energy, solar flares, whatever you want to call it, I feel that energy undoubtedly always will stir things up within us. And because of that, it's much like a snow globe. Things have been shaken up and we're just seeing how the pieces land, how the pieces may fall. And so if you're feeling a bit turbulent, if you're feeling a bit shaken up, if you're feeling like things just don't make sense yet, I've done so much work, why isn't it coming together? I think there's just been so much amplification of this shaking it up energy, that another way to look at it is it gives us so much possibilities and opportunities that we're able to explore. Another way of saying that is, look at all the timelines that are available to us. Whereas today, it might have been one choice for me on how my relationship with this family member is going to be, maybe in doing that healing, maybe in that amplification of charge that day, my internal charge or the energy around me, it allowed me to bring up several more pathways and timelines to consider. And so do not be necessarily fixated on this is the path, this is the way it is, and it's a sure thing. I think that every choice allows us to make the next one, and that probably we are constantly shifting from the highest timeline possible and then able to then take another choice that shifts us continuously. It's like an expansive energy. And in expansion, there is an edge that keeps going and going. And I think that's how consciousness is too. You know, we just keep expanding and expanding. Maybe there is no edge. It doesn't actually end. So I suppose the energies that keep coming in also will just keep coming in, but to see and to reframe these big stirring energies as opportunities for us to shift timelines, to choose a different way forward, even if they seem like minute choices. I often use this example. It's like steering a sailboat. If you just turn, the sail or steering wheel, however it is, by a small degree, hours from now, days from now, your whole course of sail would be different, wouldn't it? And so despite it being turbulent or seemingly that things are just not yet settled, because it's the path that is like jumping from one stone to another, showing you that there is nothing that needs to fully land and be fixated on one thing. It's just many timelines and choices available to us. Sometimes I've looked back on the last 4 years and I've wondered, oh my God, it's been a turbulent time and it's been a roller coaster. Does it ever get cruisy? So far, it hasn't. But it's about being able to navigate through these bumpy rides, being able to navigate through these times in which things get shaken up. And I, in a way, almost look forward to them now, because I know that they are just opportunity points to shift, opportunities within myself to continue evolving and expanding. So that might help some of you as well if you're feeling heavily frustrated by just how turbulent it seems and that things are just not coming to a head. But are you choosing to do things differently? Are you taking advantage of these possible choice points? I wonder. Obviously, because if you keep doing the same thing, you may have the same result. So I'm embracing these shifting and stirring points. The energies that keep shaking things up. The third message for myself and for those of you who are listening, it's homecoming time. It's homecoming time. Now, as soon as this word dropped in, of course, to me, it just initially meant coming home to myself. And I think that's not an expression that's completely new and unheard of. But I felt also, well, I've been saying that for a long time. Everyone says that. It is about finding ourselves and being true to ourselves and coming home. So what's different? And I think I did, or let me refer to my last transmission. I may have talked about us weaving the parts of us together. And I think it's still elaborating and expanding on this topic as well. And then I was further reminded of one of the things that one of my dragon teachers came through and during a solstice transmission, and it was the word countenance. Really bringing the pieces of ourselves back together, networking, weaving, integrating the pieces. And that time is now. Maybe we have been collecting pieces for a very long time, wondering, why did I have that job? Why do I love the angels? Why do I feel connected to the dragons? How come I love singing? What's the singing bowls got to do with my practice? Whatever it is. And they may be in different forms of expression in your career, in your sacred practices, just in your personal development. The homecoming feeling, as I'm coming more into it, as I'm expanding into it, as I'm really being in it. And I don't think it's just going to be a 1 month thing. I'm pretty sure this energy for me is probably going to be some time, because it's been decades of actually collecting pieces, exploring pieces. So putting them all together is probably like doing that 1,000-piece puzzle. It's not going to be overnight, but damn, when you've got, you feel like you've got all the pieces, then it's not so big of a challenge. So just be in it, feel it, allow the stirring energies. Allow the energies that seem like they're just shifting so quickly, and you're getting the meaning of why you loved X, why you did X, why X happened. The homecoming is you probably consciously and unconsciously making a lot more sense of things and feeling more whole, feeling more embodied, feeling more true to yourself in your alignment. And these days, I'm talking a lot more about expression. As you come together, how are you allowing yourself to bring that into a coherent, into a cohesive and aligned expression? All right, so those are the 3 messages that I have for everyone. And I'd love to share a little short transmission. I've got my beautiful drum here. This is a horse skin drum. It's actually my brother's drum. And I really miss my drums because I've packed them all away since I'm in the transition of moving back to Europe. And so they're all in a shipping container. I'm like, yes, there's a drum here. So I'd love to share a little drum and sound with you. And in line with the message that we are stepping into the quantum, I realize that a lot of my transmissions are also getting shorter and shorter. And that they do not mean that they are less or more powerful. The information can be contained in them just as much in a 30-second transmission as it is a 30-minute one. So I invite you to maybe close your eyes, and however long that this ends up being, I invite you to listen and to feel with your heart. So come into your center of centers. As I breathe, I invite you to breathe. As I find my center, I invite you into yours. And let your roots grow into the ground. Acknowledge yourself into the presence of Mother Earth. Like you're stretching your branches all the way out to the sky. Finding your center, finding your central pillar of light. Finding alignment within yourself, all coming together into cohesion, into coherence. One man Hom Breathe into that heart space, gathering all the energy together. Feeling yourself as a vibrant light shining. Breathe. Inhale that alignment. Exhale all that is in the way of alignment. Inhale, align, cohesion, coherence. And if you wish to stay here, you can continue to practice deep breathing, conscious breathing, and breathe more of that alignment and coherence. Notice how the body feels. Notice how you feel. You can pause this video if you want to breathe or continue the practice on your own. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel that alignment, feel how it feels to just allow yourself to drop into it. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Maybe we need a lot of practice. See if the messages are resonating with you. May that guide you in the coming month and the things that are to arise. Also, love to invite you to Heart Song. Heart Song is my 9-week Activate Your Expression program that is launching in September 2024, and there are still early bird coupons and discounts available. So as I was saying earlier, it's when we gather all the pieces, it's about learning how we can express it forward. What is still limiting us from our true expression? What might be stifling us? What are we needing to rebirth again? We're working with the cosmic team, different spirit allies and archetypal energies. As we explore them, we're exploring ourselves. That's Heart Song, a 9-week journey with me online. You'll see the links somewhere related to this video. Or maybe you're ready to take some Qigong. I have a course, Awaken, Qigong for light workers. It is not just about movement and medical Qigong, which was my original Qigong practice, but really about learning to be conscious of our energy, feeling the energy, our clairsentience, being able to perceive these more subtle layers and really to amplify our energy and our light quotient, our capacity to be able to hold light, so that we can be more impactful, be more influential in what we do, so that we have more units of energy to go about our day, so that we can be the best and most powerful light workers the world needs right now. Or contact me for a remote reading or healing session. I'm not taking many one-on-one clients other than in my Heart Song program, but I'm doing a lot of remote work, healing, activations. Also, mentorship is available, so just contact me. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you soon.